Muy bien, ¿cómo estamos hoy? Muy bien, gracias. I'm going to switch positions here a little bit. I've got the glare, but I can't close the curtains behind me tonight, so let me try just turning around the corner. All right, hopefully that's a little bit better. Matthew says, how's France? France was, we had a great time there. Matthew and I will be sharing some information about that in a little while. Let's start though with a question I'll type on the screen, or I'll write it on the screen, one or the other. Here's our question. ¿Qué has hecho en esta semana? Oops. All right. ¿Qué has hecho en esta semana? We can answer that question in the chat.
This does mean, what did you do this week, right?
Sí.
Thanks.
Matthew, no jugamos Carcassonne. Bueno, mis hijos, sí, they have it on their Kindle Fire, and they played on the way there at least. All right, starting to see some answers now. Elijah says escuela. I'm going to say estudiar, to study, which is basically the same thing, right? Okay, pasar tiempo con primo. Muy bien. In Dallas. ¿Qué más han hecho? Muy bien. ¿Y qué hiciste en el concierto, Matthew? Like helping out, like being an usher or something? Muy bien, sabes ayudar con un concierto. Perfecto. So Catherine hasn't done it yet. We're going to put it on the list. Trabajar como voluntario. Oops. Okay. Entrevista. Universidades. Ok, muy interesante, Liam. So, certificado de finalización para EMT. Tell us a little bit more about that, Liam. It's like you finished?
Yeah, well, I finished my class, but I get certified in January. I take my test to get certified.
Okay.
So it's just a completion certification from the school.
Oh, okay, I see. So I'm going to change that a little bit. Las clases de. So I know how to say EMT in Spanish. I don't. Muy bien, lots of interesting things. Anything else you guys want to add to the list here?
I looked it up and it's just el paramedico.
Paramedico, okay. Matthew says he found TAMA, or he's guessing that, because it certainly could be like Técnico de Emergencias Médicas or something. But yeah, maybe Paramedico as well, right? Muy bien. All right, well, it sounds like you guys have been busy. Yeah, you can share something you're about to do as well, Mia. Técnico de Emergencias Médicas, muy bien. Okay, Simon, you said you lost the signal for a second, or I did, or somebody did. Nothing much. We're just still talking about how to say EMT. All right. Well, let me. Oh yeah, Mia was going to share something, and after she shares, we're gonna shift gears and talk about las noticias. She's working on it. We'll actually, I'm gonna go ahead and switch. Oh, there we go. Muy bien, pues va a ir a Georgia y luego a Washington. So Mia, vas a volar desde Hawaii hasta Georgia, de Georgia a Hawaii de nuevo y luego de Hawaii a Washington? Muy bien. Es mucho volar, ¿no? All right. And Bethany's got a question here. So she says, I'm going to type what she put. So, asisto a la fiesta de Navidad. And she said, did I say it right? And I don't know the past tense. So in the present tense, yes, this would be correct, Bethany. And this verb, asistir, is kind of a funny verb. It's a false cognate. It looks like one thing, but it means something else. Who knows what asistir means? Besides Bethany, she's the one that used it. It looks like it means to help, but it doesn't. So it looks like to assist, but that's not actually what it means. It actually means to attend. Yep. So Bethany said that she went to a fiesta de Navidad, but she wasn't sure how to do it in the past tense. So the past tense, what we would say instead, Bethany, is we just have to change the ending a little bit. So we would say asistí in this case. So asistir is an IR verb, and so the past tense endings for IR verbs are iste, yo, imos, and ieron. And in this case, since I'm talking about myself, or since Bethany is talking about herself, really, she would use the yo form. Does that answer your question, Bethany? Muy bien. All right, and I saw Baena said they are going to go to the Houston Food Bank this coming week. So that would be similar to, now I've forgotten who it was that said they did it. Oh, Catherine, I think. So trabajar como voluntario. Pues Baena también lo va a hacer. Muy bien. All right, next question then. ¿Cuáles son las noticias más importantes de esta semana? It's windy outside here. Okay, so I see prueba de de Corea del Norte. Publicación. Los artículos. And we'll just say the impeachment, right? We know there's another word or two, but not a great word. Okay, ¿qué más? Sage no sabe. Anything else we want to add to this? Oh, there's a big story nobody's mentioned. De Nueva Zelanda. Sí, Thunberg como persona del año. Okay, y Simon sí sabe. Un volcán en Nueva Zelanda, ¿no? Very sad story there. Okay, the salting truck that drove into Lake Michigan, I saw that too, Sage, just a few minutes ago. Saw a video of that. Ryland says first monkey pig hybrids. I did not see that. Okay. Joshua says accidente de avión aterriza en Phoenix, like in Phoenix, Arizona, Joshua? I haven't seen that story. Was it a big plane or a small plane? Okay. There was another un avión de Chile. Did anybody see this one? Entre Chile y Antarctica. So a military plane that went down. All right. Okay, and Michael, just try this. Okay. All right. Somebody has their microphone on. We're just getting background noise. Do you mind checking that? Oh, see, the measles outbreak in Samoa also. Measles. I don't know how to say measles in Spanish. Does somebody want to look that up? Sarampion. I did used to know that. Thank you. Gracias, Sage. Muy bien. All right, so a busy week around the world as usual, right? And okay, let's take a look. I want to look at one or two projects. I saw some great projects this week. Part of the reason for that maybe was because I hadn't graded work in like a week or so, and so I had a lot to go through. And there were a lot of good ones as I was doing that. So, but there were one or two that I looked at that as I looked at them, I thought, oh, we could talk about ways to be more creative with our projects. So I'm going to share one, and there's nothing wrong with the project. It's just that this particular one made me think, oh, they could have had a lot of fun with this. So I'm going to share it, and I think this is from Sophia Tamariz, but I might be remembering wrong. So I'm going to share it, and if Sophia, if this is yours, let me know. If it's not yours, let me know, because I'm just trying to remember off the top of my head. Sophia Tamariz is who I was thinking it was. Is this your project? Okay, I thought it was, but like I said, I don't remember for sure. So got just a couple of slides here. This one with the picture and a title on it, La Niña Vietnamita, and then over here, so she's got some text. Take a minute and try to read through this. Well, let's do it one square at a time. So let's look at the orange square. Muchas personas no tienen la oportunidad de aprender debido a circunstancias difíciles. This orange square here, what is that telling us? And that's a question for everybody, not just for Sophia. Okay, Michael says text is too small. Let me see if I can blow it up a little bit. I'm not sure if I can or not. No, it's not letting me. Okay, so yeah, so many people don't have the opportunity to learn because of their difficult circumstances. Muy bien. So yeah, debido does mean like because of, kind of, or due to. Okay, how about the yellow-ish one? Ooh, don't know why my line got fat there. Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. What's the yellowish one tell us? Well, I thought I clicked the right one that time. Okay, 98 million adolescents don't have school. 98 millones de adolescentes no están en la escuela. All right, how about Michelle Obama escuchó a una de estas chicas llamada Yen. So this next one that I've circled down, Michelle Obama escuchó a una de estas chicas llamada Yen. Okay, something about a girl named Yin. What about this girl named Yin? Okay, Michelle Obama listened to her, yeah. So this girl named Yin, Michelle Obama went and visited, talked to this girl. Muy bien. And the next one, Yin tiene 16 años y vive con su madre soltera y la ayuda a ganar dinero. Ken Simon's pointing out that this must be a picture of Yin. And the picture on the previous slide probably was as well. You know what? I know what the problem is. There we go. Okay, muy bien. She's 16. She lives with her mother, helps her earn money. Perfecto. Aquí para tomar lecciones y ayudar a su madre, ella hace 4 viajes de 45 minutos de ida y vuelta al día. Rylan, yes, that is correct. Okay, so Elijah points out something interesting here. You're right, Elijah. Tomar does mean to drink, but it also means to take. So it's kind of got 2 meanings. Yeah, as Alexa is pointing out there. So what's this one telling us? She travels. So 4 viajes, she travels 4 times a day, right? De 45 minutos. So to be able to take lessons, she has to go a long way every day. Muy bien. Y la próxima parte, la última. Las personas deberían estar agradecidas por las oportunidades que tienen y recordar siempre que siempre habrá personas en situaciones peores. Okay, so words you can pick out are people and opportunities. Good. Who else can help us out here? Okay, so we see the word agradecidas, and Matthew's making an educated guess that might mean agriculture. That is a good guess. Matthew, that's not actually what it means. That actually means grateful. And then Sage made another educated guess. Recordar here. So recordar is also kind of a tricky word. It's another false cognate. It means to remember. Sorry, that orange was a little bit hard to see there. Okay, so basically what she's saying here is, you know, when you think life is tough, keep in mind that there are other people that have it a lot rougher than you do. Is basically the gist of this last part. So let's talk just quickly about what do you guys like about Sophia's presentation? Okay, it's simple and it does break up the text. Exactly, Matthew. That's one of the things that I like the most about it too. She's got a lot of text here. If it were all in like a single paragraph, it would be overwhelming. But because she put it in individual blocks, it's a lot easier to understand. Muy bien. And the overall presentation of it is good as well. Yes, it does give a lot of information also. Muy bien. All right, yeah, and so that's definitely right along the lines of the feedback that I would have as well. So this is a good project. There's nothing wrong with it. However, as I looked through it, I thought, you know what, it would have been fun to do this project in a different format. So I thought it would lend itself pretty well to Powtoon. How many of you guys have done Powtoon projects before? Some of you have. So Powtoon can be used in a couple of different ways. You can use it in the simplest sense just to kind of make a slideshow presentation still, but you can also use it to make like a little cartoon. And I thought, wouldn't it be fun if she had used Powtoon? Powtoon might actually have a Michelle Obama character. Probably not. It's got a Barack Obama character, I think, but maybe not Michelle Obama. But she could find a character that looked enough like Michelle Obama to be her. She could have them meet. Then we could like follow Yin to her house, and we could see. It's just there's a lot of fun. A lot of fun things that could have been done with a story like this. And so again, terrific project, got full credit on it, no problem here. But as I looked through it, I just thought that, oh, that would have made a great Powtoon project. So be thinking about, don't be afraid to have fun with your projects. Now, of course, we have to be sensitive. If you're doing a project on the volcano that erupted and killed people and burned people, we don't want to have fun with that, right? But this one's okay. It could have helped us kind of relate more to this girl. And so I think that would be okay. Does that make sense to everybody? Now, if it were a story about a volcano that erupted and didn't hurt anybody, then that would be great. You could have fun with it. But obviously, we don't want to make light of bad situations, right? Okay, and going back up, I saw a question. So Jude said, so I asked who has used Powtoon, and Jude wanted to know, could you answer that with Joe? And the answer, Jude, is that yes, you could. So like, who has been here, who has done that, whatever. Yes, you can say Joe. I have. And Sage, I think, or somebody, yeah, Sage, thought maybe it would be Yo tengo. And that's a great guess. Sage, there's actually two different ways to say have in Spanish. One is like possession, and that would be tengo. The other one is to have done something. For that, we would use the verb haber. And so in that case, we would say like yo he, but you can't just say yo he. That doesn't mean anything. You would have to say more than that. Yo he usado Powtoon, you could say. Or the shorter way to say it would just be to say yo. Or you could say yo sí, I, yes. We wouldn't answer that way in English, but in Spanish you can. Yo sí is kind of the same way, the way that they would say I have. So great question there, and great input from Sage as well. All right. And yes, Matthew, you're absolutely right. It can be compelling and interesting, even if it's about a bad story. Just not fun and cutesy isn't really what we're looking for, right? If it's a bad story. All right. Any other thoughts or questions on that? Muy bien. ¿Quieren ver algunas fotos de nuestro viaje? Do you guys want to see some pictures from our trip? this past weekend? Muy bien. So a lot of you, of course, joined us either on Thursday last week for class and saw some of the Christmas market and other things like that in Zaragoza. And a lot of you joined us for on Sunday morning, for you guys at least, it was Sunday morning, there in Barcelona as well, at the Sagrada Familia, but only got so much chance to see things, and so I'm going to show you a few pictures. Before I do that, though, let me run through the roll and make sure that I didn't miss anybody. So just listen for your name. All right, I have Catherine, both Sophias, Baena, Sage, Drew, Jude, Rylan, Elijah, Joshua, Jonathan, Matthew, Alexa, Bethany, Isaac, Liam, Devin, Simon, Rob, and Michael. Is there anybody who did not hear their name? I don't think I said Mia. I don't know if she's there. Oh yeah, there Mia said, did you get me? No, I didn't, Mia, but now I do. Rylan, I did get you as well. All right, so I think that's everybody. All right, so let's take a look at some pictures then. Okay, pueden ver esto. You see this? Muy bien. So Rylan came to class on Tuesday. Yeah, Rylan, these are going to be the same pictures that Senor Nat shared at first. Then I've got some other ones to share as well. So this is La Basilica in Zaragoza. So this is where, when we did the live class, and I was trying to get across the river so you guys could see it from there. This is what you would have seen. We didn't make it because we ran out of time before we ended class. But this is it. And I've got, I think, a couple of pictures. Sorry, I'm trying to arrange things so I get to my arrows. Aquí está de nuevo, es la misma basílica. Como pueden ver, es muy, muy grande, ¿no? And it was nighttime, of course, it's about 9 o'clock at night at this point. Well, we went back the next day, the next morning, and they had the Christmas market, of course, that you guys saw. But one thing that they had was this almost life-size Belen, like a Bethlehem setup. With, you can see their statues, so not like real people like we see sometimes, but statues. And so that's lo que vemos aquí. Y aquí también, you can see the basilica here in the background. Spain, of course, is very, very Catholic. Most people here are Catholic, and so you see that in the celebrations that they have and whatnot. The next thing we did also in Zaragoza was we went to, I wish I remember what it was. I think this is called Alfajaria. Let me, not off the top of my head here. I think it's called Alfajaria. If I remember right. And so this is used now, I think maybe I mentioned it in class. Now this is where their kind of state legislature meets. But this was built originally during the period of the Moors, when the Muslims from North Africa had come into Spain and were controlled the area for about 700 years. Right, this was built originally during that time. Most things in Spain that are old like that, and there's an awful lot of very old things here, were kind of constantly remodeled and updated and repaired and things like that. So not all of the work would be that old, but some of it is. So yeah, this was pretty cool as well. We did not go in here. It also has, as a lot of things do, it has a moat around it, but the moats, they're not. We think of moats being filled with water, but they were not usually. And so Rylan asked about cannons. Rylan, at one of the places we went, you'll see pictures. They, I don't think he was calling anybody stupid. I think he was saying it was stupid that they didn't have cannons. And Matthew, you're right. It would be. I hadn't thought about that aspect of it, but it would be hard to keep the water in it. Wouldn't it? Keep it from, to get it there in the first place and keep it from seeping out and whatnot. You'd have to have a good way to do that. A lot of these things actually predate cannons. All right, this next picture, ahora estamos en Francia. So this was, this is a small town called Cabrespin, Francia. This is where we stayed while we were in Francia. Why are you on the roof? We're not actually on the roof here. It does look like it, doesn't it? But this was taken, so as you can see, this town is built on hills, and so the house that we stayed at was up on the hill, and we just looked out over. And it was a 2-story house, actually built into the side of the hill. So like in the kitchen, I don't know if she included a picture of this, but I can find one if she didn't. There's actually exposed rock in the kitchen because it was built right into the side of the hill. Let's see if we have a picture. Oh, see, okay. So yeah, like this part right here is literally the hillside. They had to dig it out, and then the rest of it's built up along. But our kids loved this house. They had so much fun. Of course, it was huge too, and they're used to now living in this small apartment. So was it left uncovered intentionally? Yes, Elijah. It was left that way because it's pretty neat. So it's kind of by design. Muy bien. Otra foto de Cabrespin. So this is in the town as well. By the way, Senora Nance took all of these pictures, and she's a much better photographer than I am. That would be fun, Jonathan. We do have another cool camera that I'm going to show you in a minute, but not a drone. Okay, so also outside of Cabrespin, up the mountain a little ways, is a cave, and it's a pretty big cave. In terms of, like, how many of you guys have gone to caves before? Quite well. Okay, quite a few of you. Good. This cave, so sometimes in caves, like you walk through narrow areas and then you'll get to a big room that opens up. They call them rooms usually. These are stalactites, yes. The stalactites come down, they say they hold tight to the ceiling. This cave was just, the part that we were in was just one single room, but it was enormous. So big, in fact, they said that you could fit the Eiffel Tower inside it. That's how big this room was. And this is a close-up, of course, yes, of some stalactites there. Here you can see a little bit better. So they have this platform that goes out over it. And it's, in this part at least, it's a glass bottom platform, so you can look down. Over here it's metal, but like a metal mesh, so you can look down through it as well. And you can see like all 300 something meters down to the bottom. I'm not necessarily either, Alexa, but it was not as scary as it sounded like. Muy bien. A ver. Bueno, aquí estamos en Carcassonne. So this course was our actual reason for the trip. And Carcassonne, we don't have a good, but you can look it up and see good pictures from a distance. We didn't take any good pictures from a distance, but here we had gone up onto the walls. So it's a walled-in city, or it was. Now the city is a lot bigger than the walls, but and there's a castle attached to the wall, and there's a basilica there as well. And so here you can see the kids are walking along the walls of the city. An interesting thing too about this city is that they actually, the walls defended from both directions. So they defended against invaders from the outside, but it was also to defend against their own citizens revolting against them. So I thought that was interesting. Y sí, estos son nuestros hijos. All right. Bueno, aquí estamos todavía en Carcassonne. Y aquí también. And here you can see anybody that's familiar with the game, you can see like it's got the features that you would expect, the conical roofs and things like that. Mia, you're probably right, but okay, muy bien. So a funny thing too that this picture reminds me of, so we don't speak French. I've done some French on Duolingo, but definitely don't speak it yet. But we ran into more people from Spain than French-speaking people the whole time we were there. It was, of course, a holiday in Spain, and so a lot of tourists had come over because of the holiday. But like the people that took this picture spoke Spanish. They're from Spain. We stopped to eat, and the people inside, like everybody spoke Spanish. Seemed like everywhere we went. A ver, ¿qué más tenemos? Okay, and so then, yes, it is relatively close to the border. It's maybe an hour and a half from the border. Matthew, an hour and a half drive. And a couple hours from Barcelona, which is also close to the border. So this is back in Barcelona, which again, a lot of you guys joined me on Sunday morning. This is a close-up, so if anybody was there will remember maybe that I talked about that there's one side is about the Nativity, the other side of the Basilica is about the Passion, when Christ was killed. So this, of course, is from the Nativity side. This is the Los Tres Reyes, right? The three wise men. The wise men are very important in Spain and in a lot of Spanish-speaking countries, and usually they call them Los Tres Reyes, the three kings. So just close up there. Muy bien. And then some pictures from inside. So I've been to several basilicas or cathedrals in my life, but this one was amazing. It was so much different than any other one I've been to. So, and one of the things that makes it amazing is the windows. So the walls are like covered in windows, as you can see here. Yeah, so this is a Sagrada Familia, and I think I talked about this a little bit the other day, but the light comes in through these blue windows in the east in the morning, and on the west side it's got like orange and red and yellow windows, and the sun comes in through those in the evening, and it's incredible with so many windows, like how the light is. Okay, Sage, that's fine. Gracias. So anyway, I'm going to go through these because these are all kind of similar. Okay, well, now we're back on sign. Oops. This is back on the nativity sign. So the man who designed Sagrada Familia, his name is Antoni Gaudi, excuse me. And he also designed a park called Parc Güell, and that's where I was originally going to have you guys join us, but then I realized the time difference wasn't going to work because we went there it was Monday morning here, which would have been middle of the night for most of you guys. So these next few pictures are from there. So on the outside, Rylan says it looks more brown. You're right, a lot of times it looks grayish, doesn't it, in the pictures. On the outside, it's pretty drab looking, although when you look close and you see the detail, it's really cool, but on the inside, it's beautiful. So these next pictures are from the park. I don't know that, Matthew, that may be right. Sophia said she looked it up and there were two creators. So I don't know the exact story of it, Sophia, but I don't know whether Gaudi was originally involved or not, or if he became involved later, but he died before it was finished, of course, and then it's been, again, they started it like 130 years ago or something, so it's had a lot of people involved since then, but it may be that somebody else was originally involved. It is still under construction. They are hoping to get it finished within the next few years. All right, so this is at the park, again, designed by the same person. You can see he loved color, he loved curves and patterns and things like that. Here's our daughter, Heidi, at the park. And now I'm going to switch because we also have this 360 camera. Have you guys seen 360 pictures before? All right, so let me. So with the 360 camera, we took some other pictures, and so here you can see, and hopefully this will work out for you guys. Back at Sagrada Familia here, obviously, but we can pan with the picture and drag it. Is it moving for you guys as I move it? Yep. Okay, good, thank you. So we can not only look up and down, but we can also turn and look. Here you can see all the crowds. Look at all these people out here still waiting to get in down below there. So we can see in every direction. Oh yeah, look at the line there. But let me show you, there's other more interesting pictures because we got some from, so here we are inside, hopefully it switched for everybody. And like a lot of cathedrals or basilicas or whatever, it's got columns holding it up. Sorry, the baby's being fussy. So you see all these columns, but they're not just columns. Each one is made to look like a tree, and each one is unique. And so we can look around inside, and again, you can see how crowded it is here. Here we can see again the blue windows over there. But then let me show you, and well, let's come around. So here's the orange windows, and the sun was coming in through the orange windows. So you can see it's kind of reflected. But let's look up as well. See how the columns all look like treetops. So it's anyway, it's really cool, and I love the 360 pictures. I feel like they give you a much better feel for that. Jonathan said, somebody asked about how do you take the pictures? Can you look down? Yes, you can look down too. So, and that's a great question about how do you take them. Ideally, you have a tripod, and then you can put it and have it on a timer, give you like 5 seconds to get away so that you don't show up right in the image. But we always forget to bring our tripod, so we just have to hold it. And if you look, you can always then see the person. So here I am holding, and you can follow my arm. And then right there where it comes together at the bottom, it messes up, and so your hand always looks funny if you're holding it. But ideally, if it's on a tripod, then you don't show up close in the picture like that. Yeah, my fingers are gone. Anyway, so it's super, super cool inside here. We got time to look at a couple more of these 360 pictures. Okay, so here we are back at the park. Taken from basically the same spot as those other pictures. Okay, bueno, Sofía, hasta luego. Again, we can spin around and see everything. I did not take this one because there you can see me over there. My son took this picture. But it was crowded, so we get a lot of people. Here's the lizard again. It's very famous for this lizard. And you can see it's under some maintenance work here as well. But anyway, muy divertido. Okay, hasta luego, Ryan. Jonathan, probably not as much storage as you would think. I mean, we have not had a storage problem with them. All right, and one more picture from, this is a different area of the park, so it's not colorful like the other area, but you can see he's built these kind of tree-ish things out of stone that you can walk under and whatnot. Anyway, it's a cool park as well. By the way, you guys mentioned videos. This same camera takes videos, and so we've done some of those that I'll share with you guys maybe at some point too. They take a little bit more processing afterward than the still pictures do. But the videos themselves you can upload to YouTube in a 360 format, and you can actually pan around up and down and everything during the videos. And so we've done some of those also. All right, muy bien. Trying to think if there's anything else I was going to cover tonight. Just a reminder real quick before we go, we are planning to have class next week. Now I realize some of you guys might already be traveling or whatever. If you are, you can't come, that's fine. But for everybody that's available, we will have class on Tuesday and on Thursday, and then we will be off for a couple of weeks. I haven't even figured out for sure when we will start back up again, but we will be sure to let you know. It will not be as soon as the second assignment. All right. All right, I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to stop recording as well.